Welcome to the K.H Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hendricks, with my co-host.
This is Smutty Shinobi. Welcome to the podcast.
Today we're just going to introduce the podcast and hopefully answer some questions if you have any. What would you like to talk about first?
Well, my first question for you is, what made you want to do a podcast in the first place?
I don't know what made me want to do it, but where I got the inspiration from was obviously, the greats of the podcast, Joe Rogan, Mike Tyson, big influences of mine. And if you know me personally, people know I have a lot to talk about.
What are some of the topics you'd like to talk about on your podcasts in the future? Not just one episode or 2 episodes, but broader, in general.
Music for one. Sports. Martial arts. I'm open to talking about anything really. But you're a producer and an engineer, so what are some of your inspirations?
Some of my biggest inspirations musically for producing and engineering are probably Mac Miller, early shit, when he did a lot of work with Earl Sweatshirt. That stuff.
You mean kids or
early shit, Larry Fisherman and that type of shit where he was working a lot with Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah, Mac's one of my favorites as well.
And then just shit Lil Yachty, just seeing all these artists be able to come up out of their basement, literally overnight sensations. It's just crazy to me.
And Dex too is one of your favorites.
Yeah, Famous Dex. He gets all his shit mastered for him, but
what are your thoughts on new age rap? A lot of people older people don't our era of rap. What do you think about it? Has it evolved or has it gone to shit? What do you think about it?
I definitely think that
Steve's on the podcast.
The talent's there for sure. It's just the lyricism's changed. A lot of it's more double entendres. You gotta really think about what you're listening to for it to make sense. And
so do you think it's relatable or is it just?
Some of it is for sure. A lot of the artists we're listening to now that are around the same age as us, have grown up along the same influences as us, same video games as us, and they're more open to drop hints at animes they've watched. And old rap, they weren't talking about movies they liked. They weren't talking about just day-to-day life stuff they liked. They were talking about what they were struggling with.
Right.
That's my opinion.
No, that's good. See, I like new age rap too, but for people who know me personally, they know I'm bumping mostly old shit, 90s shit. I do bump new shit, obviously. Freddie Gibbs, one of my biggest inspirations. I'm quiet. Can you guys hear me? Maybe move this a little bit closer. So Freddie Gibbs, that's one of my favorite modern day rappers. It's my favorite modern day rapper. There's a lot, man. Aaron May, A$AP Rocky. Well, yeah. Who would you like to see on this show?
I'd like to see, some local talent that's, made it far, pretty unrecognized.
Right.
Hasn't seen limelight or anything like that. And then, some bigger inspirations from the area for podcasts, Soper and Brown from 97.7 Hits FM. Love for them to come on the show, even if it's just a Zoom call or a phone call. I'd love to get some of your family on the podcast, talk about business. And
it's open to anybody. Nick says entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, and people who can talk about failures. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Who would you want on the podcast?
Who do I want on the podcast? Realistically, or just for the future?
Both. Goals and then realistically.
Okay, goals. Some big names. Joe Rogan. Mike Tyson. It would be cool to have the Island Boys on here. I'm an island boy. It'd be cool to have the Island Boys on here. They were booed off of a podcast. Like, they weren't really booed off of it, but I think they knew they were getting trolled and no one was taking them seriously, so they left. But I would take them serious. Like I take anyone serious who's serious about what it is that they're doing. But for right now, just like you said, local talent, just anybody with an open mind. You don't really have to be talented. Anybody who's willing to, I guess, contribute to the podcast. What's your cat's name, Smutty?
This is Steve French.
This is Steve French coming out of Ontario. Steve French, the champion. What are your thoughts on COVID? Do you think it's about control?
I don't really want to get into all that. I don't want to share my opinion. You know, you do you. You do what you feel is necessary.
I think Catherine says, I think you should probably have Elijah and Micah on your podcast. I think that'd be a great idea. I think they'd have a lot to babble on about, you know?
Cute cat. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. What else are we going on about? Should I tell them who our guests are going to be, or should I let them just find out?
I don't know. You could tell them about next week if you want.
I'm not going to tell them about next week. They're going to have to find out.
You could tell them about next week.
They're going to have to tune in next week to find out. We will have guests on here. We will have guests on here, guys. It won't just be us. I know we're really boring and stuff, you know. I know my hair is really fuzzy and my jeans and my jacket don't match, but that's not the topic we're on today.
So, tell me about yourself, like your music career. You know, your goals for this year, what you'd like to do project wise, like.
So this is for those of you who don't know, this is my engineer and producer. Obviously, my co-host, good friend of mine. We have a lot of stuff we're working on. Basically, I'm not just focused on music this year. I'm focused on obviously my podcast. I'd like to eventually do the short horror film I've been working on. It's already written, ready to go. It's just you need to get on top of it. So that's another goal of mine. To get fit again, not only physically but mentally and spiritually. So I definitely gotta get back into the dojo or just the gym.
Fair.
Winter is like the time for everybody, bro. I feel like they just kind of just fall off and live under a rock.
This is true.
What are your goals for this year, short term and long term?
Short term, get rich quick.
Get rich quick, yeah.
Long term though, I want to get my Twitch going again. Smutty_Shinobi. Plug the
What
Twitch.
do you got, like 1,000 followers on Twitch?
No, I lost a bunch since I stopped streaming. I'm down to like 400.
Oh shit! Oh, you'll get back out there.
And then I've already made a couple beats this year, not just for you.
You haven't made just a couple. You made like a small catalog of beats, and you've only been doing it for like I'd say about almost 60 days, if that.
It's true, and I just sold my first one on Fiverr. I'm looking to do some work with this well-known artist.
What's his name?
Caleb Fast.
Let's clap it up for him. Let's clap it up for him.
But long term, I'm also looking to open this business this year and get shit popping.
Yeah. He is opening a business, and I am opening a business. That's all I'm gonna say. The rest is for you to find out. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, hit Nobi up if you need some contracting.
If you need some contracting done, hit up Smutty Shinobi. That's not his business name. Maybe it is. Also, if you need some contracting done for concrete, Next Level Concrete out of Fort Erie, Ontario. Very good workers. Amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. For landscaping, Green King Landscaping, Design in Paradise Landscaping. Great crews, great workers, great people, everything. They'll do your garden, they'll do your walkways, patio stones, so on and so forth, the whole nine, the whole shebang. Can we review stuff? Like on streams? Like, can they see it?
Yeah, we could pull something off, but I was gonna see if we could show them the new song.
Oh, you want to show them the new song?
The newest shit in the
I
world.
don't know if they've heard that. Pull it up. Timeless. Kelly Hendricks. Oh, so they can hear this?
Yeah.
Okay, he's working on pulling this up. It's my latest song. Released about a week or two ago.
Damn, Nobi snapped on this one.
Early mornings with my pops prepare me for these late nights. My feet ain't left the ground, but I promise you will take flight. But only if the cards we was dealt get played right. Here today and gone tomorrow, you just can't play with life. Working till I fail, so I know how to get it right. Mama, you outdid yourself, cause you gave your baby life. Blood on my black ones, clean it off with baby wipes. Tell me if I crack, cause I'm black and I'm aging right. Keep me in your prayers, cause I know I ain't living right. Feel like I'm always running, cause my dream is what I chase at night. You can make 1,000 off a quarter if the taste is right. You can run a track with me, but only if your verse is tight. John G, A.G, Ace God, my circle tight. I would hit 100 licks just to make sure Lil Nobi's right. My girl don't get the credit, Sarah Lee and Nobi's wife. Best woman that I know, goes to show, got us holding tight. Gluttony and lust, these things can't fill an appetite. You will be a fool for saying pot ain't a sacrifice. Love, meditation, and guidance is what we lack in life. 100 million followers can't prepare me for the afterlife. I'm just trying to get it right. My niggas always smoking and they ask me how I'm high on life. You won't see me splurging on material, my morals.
So check that out. It's Timeless on Spotify by yours truly, Kelly Hendricks. Let's talk about movies or TV. What are you watching right now on Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus or anything?
Seinfeld. Been watching a lot of Seinfeld.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with Seinfeld, man?
No, it's OG.
I just recently rewatched Atlanta. So the first season, you know, it's mostly just about Paperboy and, you know, getting his music career off the ground. So, yeah, I finished the first 2 seasons now. Because when I first watched it, I only watched half of the first season. So I wasn't really into it that much. But I was like, okay, now I'm done. I'm done with the show. Like, and then it ends off with them like going to Europe. I'm like, okay, there's got to be another season. Luckily for me, there's another season coming out March 24th.
New? Brand new?
Yeah, brand new, season 3.
Oh, shit.
So that's going to be, you got to rewatch it, man.
Yeah, for
I can't
sure.
really spoil it too much, but do you remember the characters at all?
Some of them.
Do you remember that guy Darius? He was Paperboy's, like, he lived with Paperboy.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the one episode, like, I don't know if it's a Michael Jackson reference or what, but, like, okay, to make a long story short, this guy goes to buy a piano off of, like, Kijiji or whatever, right? Goes to buy a piano, but the piano's free, and it's got, like, colorful keys and shit. So he goes to buy the piano. this guy enters the door and, like, but you don't see him answer the door. Like, he opens the door and then he stands behind it, and then, like, it's just like, I don't know, it's the weirdest guy ever. Like, you just gotta see it, man. It's fucking hilarious. I was in tears laughing for a minute. Don't get nobody started on COVID. Let's not get anybody started on COVID.
Yeah.
So, who's your, I guess who's your biggest inspiration of all time? Not just, doesn't have to be musically, it doesn't have to be, you know, could just be somebody you know even. I gotta think about that one.
You got me in my feelings over
I
here.
know, bro. I didn't mean to, but maybe I did mean to. Maybe that's what we do over here. It's a healing. This is a healing show. It's a safe space.
Well, I guess a lot of the early YouTubers, like just PewDiePie doing his Let's Plays.
What about, hey, it's Fred? Did you like Fred?
No. So like early YouTubers, like, you know, like obviously like PewDiePie and like Jacksepticeye and all them, like when they first started just doing Let's Plays,
Yeah.
just their face over a game. Like people would sit there and watch that for hours.
Yeah, honestly, not even gonna lie, I used to follow PewDiePie heavy.
Yeah.
Like in 9th grade, like, I'll come home from school and watch. I didn't have these games, like I couldn't afford these games, so I'd watch PewDiePie play them.
And he played the first Last of Us, and The Last of Us 2 is like my favorite game of all time. That and Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, X Jaws. You ever heard of X Jaws?
No.
He was like a Call of Duty YouTuber. all he would play is Call of Duty, and then his career went to shit because he got into drugs and like nobody knows where he is now, but everyone knows he's like down bad and shit. It's kind of sad.
That was like Nade Shot in Halo 3.
Nate Shot is like on drugs now.
No, but he just fell off.
Oh shit.
But I guess like what I was trying to say is like, yeah. So some of my biggest inspirations were like just early YouTubers, and then when I started streaming on Twitch, it really made me realize that my biggest inspiration was the people who were actually tuning in and watching me every week, who would actually show up and just have genuine conversations in the comment section, and it was definitely like a nice feeling that people were escaping their daily lives just to come chill and watch me play games.
Yeah, that's. I guess that would resonate a lot. Would you like to show any of them out?
My biggest fan, my biggest viewer is definitely SHLS Despair.
Despair, yeah, I remember Despair. Despair even started listening to my music just because I'd be in the chat, you know, resubscribing to you or whatever, or just talking, and then he just started listening to my music, probably because you shouted me out.
Yeah, it was those late night Among Us games. Just
Among Us, oh yeah.
Subscribe to Kelly Hendricks on YouTube.
Those were the times, man. What happened? Like, I guess people still play it, but it's not popular anymore.
No, I bet you could go on Twitch right now, and it's like probably one of the bottom games.
And it's on console now too.
It's on like everything.
Like, I remember when we were just playing it on our phone, and I'm like, yo, this game's gonna be on console. Sure enough, it's on console now.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. So, I guess musically, what are some of your biggest inspirations?
Did you ask me this already?
I don't think your inspirations for music.
My biggest of all time, or just currently?
You know, that's helped shape Kelly into Kelly.
Damn, I can't just say Tupac and Biggie because like that's everyone's inspiration. You know, like of course they're two of my biggest inspirations, but I'm gonna say obviously Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, XXX Tentacion, Bootsy Collins, like a lot of old stuff. Because my mom and my dad, like my mom listens more to like, I guess gospel and old R&B and stuff. My dad was really into the blues. So like, you know, when I heard my dad play the blues, like I wasn't used to it. Because I'd always be listening to what my mom was playing. And then when I started listening to the blues, I was like, damn. That shit hits, man.
It does.
We'd be on them late night drives and he'd be playing the blues. And at first I would laugh at him because I'd be like, this is just kind of stupid. But after, you know, as you get older, like your taste buds change for everything, for food, for music, for just anything. So I guess good music is an acquired taste, and I'm really into good music. Like I was hanging out with a friend a couple weeks ago. We were at a gathering, and she was like, I put on Rick James, and she's like, what is this? She's like, we don't listen to good music over here. We listen to just music. But I guess good music is like different to everybody. Everybody has a different ear for everything, right? So, and then as you asked me earlier, what are my other goals for this year? I mentioned the podcast, the short film, but I'd like to start getting into classic rock, and this guy is gonna be the one to help me with that. You know, classic rock, grunge. I just want to branch out and change my sound a bit. You know, just so it's not rap, because not everyone has an ear for, you know, hip hop. What's up, Kristen White? How's it going?
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the K.H Podcast with my co-host.
Smutty Shinobi. But
Uh,
yeah, so you want to get it diverse this year. You want to like switch it up and shit. But like,
what's going on, Pluto?
do you know for sure like that's what everyone else is gonna like resonate with? Like,
I think so.
do you think you'll lose any fans, core fans? Do you think you'll gain more core fans?
I think I'll definitely gain more fans because look at like I said, XXX Tentacion. That's one of my biggest inspirations. And this guy, he made everything, man. He had screamo rap. He had like 90s type of rap. And then he had Spanish music, reggae music.
Yeah, this is true.
Classic rock, everything. And look at his fan base. Like,
Still to
Even
this
from
day.
the grave, his fan base is one of the biggest out there to this day.
This is true.
You know, just imagine, like, look at Post Malone. People love Post Malone. And Post Malone, actually, his background is it's a grunge background. It's a classic rock background. I seen him, like, yeah, he's good at the rap and the country shit, but, like, go on YouTube and look at Post Malone covering Nirvana songs, and you'll be amazed what he can do on an acoustic guitar, bass guitar, electric guitar. And he has the voice, perfect voice for it. I don't have the perfect voice for, like, singing R&B and shit, but I can sing some rock. I'm not gonna do it live on this podcast, but I'll do it in a song.
What if I pulled up an instrumental? You don't want to
No,
drop? You don't want to drop
that
one?
today. That might be another.
You don't want to do a freestyle?
Love you too, Kath. She said she loves you.
Oh, bye, Kath. Thanks for popping in.
Thank you for stopping by.
You know, I could pull up that grunge instrumental. We could
We don't
get.
gotta do that right now. We can do
Yeah.
that. This ain't Sway in the
We
morning.
could get some sway stuff
This ain't Sway in
popping.
the morning. This is the K.H Podcast with co-host Smutty Shinobi.
Yeah, don't forget me.
Can't ever forget you.
Man, I don't know.
Hold on. For our 5 viewers watching, do you guys have any questions? Feel free to ask, because I'm kind of running out of material here.
Who
Oh,
thinks
we got 6 viewers now. What's up to the 6th viewer?
Who thinks Kel should hop on that instrumental?
I don't think anybody thinks I should hop on
Freestyle,
the right
freestyle.
now. I don't got my pack of blacks,
Beat
and I don't got a
CD.
beat CD, and my freestyles ain't
Get your
ready.
freestyles ready.
True Kendrick Lamar fans will get that reference. Kendrick Lamar, there's another huge inspiration of mine.
He's been under a rock though.
He's been under a rock because he's smart. He's smart. Like, think about it. He has nothing left to prove. Like, it's kind of disappointing. He'll get on beats now and be like, the way he's rhyming now. Have you heard that shit he did? Let's get this shit. Top of the morning.
Wasn't it like a total of like 6 bars?
It was a total of.
It wasn't much.
It was a total of. I don't know what it was, to be honest. But I wasn't impressed.
No.
It wasn't his best at all. He just stopped trying.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. That would be like if Bob Dylan. No, it wouldn't be like if Bob Dylan. It'd be like if Jimi Hendrix was still alive and he quit playing guitar. That's what it would be like.
Yeah, like why aren't you putting your all into this anymore?
Like, you know, oh yeah, Andre 3000. That's another huge inspiration. He said he stopped making music because it's like watching your uncle dance at a barbecue.
I mean, he's kind of got a point.
It's because when you know you don't got it anymore, why are you gonna force it? Now
Yeah.
you're just trying to fit in with the youth.
That uncle at the barbecue always forces it.
And he always forces it. He's always trying to impress somebody.
He is. He's got the fitted cap on. He's got.
And we don't know if we're laughing with him or if we're laughing at him.
This is true.
That's the sad part. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of,
Damn.
it's time to hang up the shoes. But Andre did his thing on the last track he was on. I think it was that song with Frank Ocean. You know what song I'm talking about?
Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up. Pull it up so they can hear. Search Frank Ocean. And Andre 3000. Pink Matter, that's the one. Since you've been gone, I've been having withdrawals.
Hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling. I've seen a lot of people who don't know what work is. I've seen a lot of people who don't know what thirst is. I've had a taste of evil and tried to cure the sickness, but I just keep my head down and focus on the facts. I'm setting down gravel while you just follow the path. I'll lead them into battle while you're just too scared to act. I'll leave the knife right in my back. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.
Alright, we're back, folks. We're back. Sorry about that. I think it's some heat going in here.
It's cold. So now we're going to discuss our trial and errors in life and just failure. So, like, for example, I've had a lot of jobs. I went to college. I've failed many times. But without failure, you'll never know what you're good at or you're not good at. What have you failed at?
To add to you, though, I don't think you'd be Kelly Hendricks without failure. You know, you had to be Vitamin M. You had to be Markel. You know, Love is in the air.
Yeah. Feel it in the air.
Same thing.
Let's not look that up on any platform.
You know, so you got to start from somewhere to get somewhere. So, you know, I think that without trial and error, without hitting the bottom, without any of that, you can't be something great.
But what have you personally failed at?
Personally,
yeah. Doesn't have to be anything big. Could just be a job, could be anything.
I think just I feel like I failed some of my Twitch viewers by just quitting.
I guess so.
It's one of my biggest failures. I feel like I should have kept going with that.
But I think they'll always be there. The ones who stay are there now, you know, that's what matters.
So let me ask you this: What's your opinion on some of these local artists in Port Erie? You know, like
we have good ones. We have good artists in town. We have good artists all around the region. But that's really, I don't know. That's really my opinion.
I think one of the local artists we should get on here on the podcast.
Mark Flo.
Yeah, that'd be good. But I think
Eric Marr.
as a CG.
Ezzo Chunge. I was on Ezzo's podcast. Shout out Ezzo.
Yo, what up, J-Rock?
Oh shit, what up, cuz? The best further is built of true struggle and life lessons.
The best future.
She
Yep.
said further.
She meant future.
She meant future, okay.
Yeah, the best future is built
Sorry for the
up.
awkwardness, guys.
You know, it is the first podcast.
First podcast, you know. Come back 5 podcasts later, and we'll have everything down for you. We don't rehearse this shit. We don't phase rugged over here. Everything's authentic.
Future.
Yeah, it was future. It was me being politically correct. Like my sister Marika Sanders used to say, "Shut up, Marika Sanders." Who knows? Maybe she'll be a guest on the podcast one day. If you guys would like to hear her sing and talk.
Yeah, I think first guest after, next week's guest. We'll keep that a secret.
Oh, next week's guest is a secret, but who's the guest after that?
I think we should get Ezra on here.
You want to get Ezra on here?
I do.
Hopefully he can get on here. He's a hard-working man.
Schedule him in.
Long hours, I believe.
Someone reach out to Ezra and tell him he's on here.
I'll get on.
Somebody tell this man.
Man, when I was on Ezra's podcast, I was so nervous and more nervous than I am now. You remember that camera angle too? We were just talking about it the other day.
Yeah.
Terrible angle on my part, man.
Terrible.
He had it set up for me perfectly. He was like, "Hey, don't move it." And then he walked away and I moved it. And then I watched, you can go on YouTube and you can watch me on Ezra's podcast and you'll see my face is like this close. Like so close to the camera. It's ridiculous. Any more comments?
No. So hypothetically speaking, where would you like to see the podcast go in the future? Not just guests, but like, would you upgrade your location? Would you what?
I don't really care that much about location because I feel like as long as we're here, we have the equipment, we have the guests, then it doesn't really matter.
Content's there.
Yeah, as long as the content's there. I just want to see it thrive. I just want to see a fan base built. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be 1 million views. It doesn't have to be 100,000. Just something like reasonable. Just so I know people are tuning in and they're really liking the podcast. That's where I want to see it go.
Is there any advice you'd give to your viewers who maybe want to follow in your footsteps as an artist, aspiring artists, or people who want to be just an influencer in general? Would you consider yourself an influencer?
Locally, yeah. Locally, yeah, for sure. I would just say, just be yourself, just be authentic. Don't try to be anything that you're not. Don't just be you, man. You don't gotta impress anybody, and the good things will follow.
Fair enough. So, you said some of your influences, like Mike Tyson, Joe Rogan. Is there anything that they do when they broadcast that you'd like to incorporate, or you'd like to do something more like them, or that really inspired you?
Nah, I just like that they're just themselves. Mike Tyson is hotboxing with Mike Tyson. He's smoking weed. I don't smoke weed. When I smoke weed especially here, I'm just gonna fall asleep or I'm gonna have a bad time. So probably not the best idea. He also eats shrooms on stream. I don't know if you've seen that. He ate 4 grams of mushrooms, magic mushrooms.
So is that
On
something?
the Impulsive podcast.
Is that something you'd be wanting
No.
to do? You want to get super high on this stream,
No,
or
definitely not,
you
'cause he
wanna-
can handle it. He's probably been doing it for a long time.
Let's do some shroomies on here, man.
Nah, man, he ain't doing it. My mom was pretty much. So,
Shout out to Barbara.
and then Joe Rogan is just himself. He has a good conversation. He knows how to carry a conversation. I guess I just got to get better at carrying conversations on camera. Off camera is easy, but I just got to ignore that the camera's there. I'll probably be better.
So you said that you're not too tied to a location or anything. Would you ever consider, going on the road and doing interviews abroad?
Oh, for sure. Like Nardwuar, the human serviette.
Not even just like
Sure.
Nardwuar. We find somebody that can't come to Niagara.
Yeah.
Say we have a guest who lives out in Ottawa or Toronto. Would you be willing to go out to Ottawa or Toronto and podcast them on the spot?
Oh, I would for sure. Would you?
Yeah.
Would you do it in the cold, like outside?
I don't think outside. I think we could get away with just a cheap hotel room.
Yeah, that could work.
You know, we could even...
Preferably with a balcony for the views, for the aesthetic reasons.
We could get, like, a van. We could do something. Get a road trip van, podcast van.
Like a Sprinter.
Yeah, but they also... I mean, I've seen shows and podcasts where people just do it in the car. Like,
you know what would actually be the coolest thing ever, in my opinion? Like a podcast, but in a forest or, like, on a mountain. I don't know how the hell it would happen, but it would be so cool. You just got your tents there. You just buy a campfire. Podcast style. Yeah, that's probably how the cavemen did their podcast. Set up a couple rocks. We make fire tonight. We make fire.
So, you know, what would you say a day in the life of Kelly Hendricks is?
A day in the life of me. Just trying to maintain, man. Just trying to get by. Just waking up, hanging out with my girl and my kid, and being me, doing me stuff. What's a day in the life of you? Of Smutty Shinobi.
So, you know, my day starts at like 4 or 5 a.m. Give my son a bottle. Then I stay up, maybe watch a show. The morning comes around, like 9, 10, maybe take a nap.
Naps are key, man.
Clean my cat box when I wake up.
But I'm a night owl, so like I don't really take naps.
Clean my cat box when I wake up.
Are you a night owl?
No.
Oh, you're an early to bed, early to rise kind of guy?
Yeah.
I wish I could be like that. Too many thoughts on my mind before I sleep.
You know, that next day is there waiting for me. I just gotta seize the moment.
That's some wise words.
So, you know, do my cat box, and then I smoke some weed, have a cigarette. You know, just, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But then...
What are your days like in the working season?
I wake up at 6 a.m. Out the
Yeah.
door by 6, 7 a.m. At the job site for like 7:38. Then I'm home by like 7 or 8, 9.
Well, you're speaking for me because we do the same thing.
Rinse and repeat, man. Like, fuck.
That was one of my favorite times, though.
I love working.
Out
though.
in the heat, just
Nature,
all
though,
ass.
like just absorbing nature all
just
day.
burning all these calories, just getting skinnier by the second.
You know, something I'd like to see on this podcast is us getting more in tune with our spirituality. Like,
I think this is gonna help us grow.
I think you could definitely,
I'm sure of it.
yeah. You know, expand your mind, expand the viewers' minds. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other since I think 2011. 2011.
So,
I was 12. I'm gonna be 24.
tell the story.
Oh,
from
tell
your
the
point of
story?
view.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how I met this guy was he was short and chubby, kind of like now.
What you looking at my gut for?
Nah. Yeah, he had a shaved head and glasses. He was super nerdy. I think he was playing Minecraft or something. I came to his house. It's actually where we are now. And, I came here with my brother Marvy. And yeah, he was just on the computer being a nerd. I just went over and asked him what he was playing, kind of bugged him a little bit, and we just started hanging out ever since. There's a story actually happened in his kitchen here. I was shadowboxing. It was actually shadowboxing. He got in the way of a punch, and I hit him in the back of the head. Long story short. But he'll tell you different. He'll tell you I just came up to him when I punched him in the back.
He
of the head.
cranked
That's not what
me.
happened. I don't believe in assault.
Cranked me.
I don't believe in assault. I don't believe in none of that stuff.
Bawled my eyes out. Ran to his mom.
Yeah.
Told on him.
I just told him don't call for his mother. Shout
For-
out to his mother who's watching right now.
First thing I did was tell on him, you know. That's what you gotta do.
Yep. Okay. I think this is where we sum it up. What do you think?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, guys. It's been a slice. Catch you on the next one. We'll have a guest. And he's going to be more interesting than us because we're kind of boring sometimes. Goals. It is goals. Friendship goals. Yeah, it's been over 10 years we've been friends.
Yeah,
12 years. 11, 12 years. Something like that.
it's true. I don't even really consider you a friend.
And he
I
grew a mustache over time.
I
so
consider you my family.
that was pretty
so,
cool.
you know, this is my brother. This ain't just my friend.
That's
Homie.
my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Kelly Hendricks Podcast with co-hosts.
Smutty Shinobi. And make sure to tune in next week for, you know, our first guest.
We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.